Here I have one of the oldest Calamity add-ons that I've personally never tried before. So for today's video, we'll be showcasing some of the most absurd things this mod has to offer, beginning with the Triactis Truest Terra Terri Terra Red Last Sun Holy
Sky Devils Exo LT Giga Mega Hypersword Claymore Disillusion Strike of the Burning Mechworm Pirate Cosmos' Devastation Bounty Rage
Judgment of Blah. This true melee weapon is known for its insane DPS, and one special mechanic about the Triactis Truest Terra Terri Terra Red Last Sun. So let's begin with the Apotheosis weapon line. For reference, this is the standard Apotheosis weapon from Vanilla Calamity, an endgame spell tome which unleashes a cosmic portal, spawning a mini Devour of Gods. It was reworked, and the first ever version I could find had a very different functionality, shooting out mini Devour of Gods heads instead. Looking at the add-on versions of this spell tome, we first have the base form, which casts a super fast mech worm to chase enemies, and right-clicking will spawn a magical projection of dog that can also fire lasers. The next upgrade in this line is the Apotheosis EX. This one fires 3 even larger Devourers that chases nearby enemies, similar to the first one. It also has a right-click that spawns a sentry to fire homing lasers. Looking at the damage numbers, it's pretty insane, but only gets even more stupid with the rare Apotheosis. This functions very similar to the current version we have in Vanilla Calamity, except this has even faster cast rate, with damage easily surpassing 500,000. And if you think Devour of Gods is the Devour of FPS, look no further than the final upgrade, the Apotheosis EX 2.0 Soul Neon Supreme of Gods EX. This costs a whopping 777 mana to use, which means we'll need to craft ourselves the Apotheosis EX accessory, granting 77% magic damage, 77 crit chance, and I'm just gonna go out on a limb here and say Terry is obsessed with the number 7. Anyways, we equip this thing, and here we go. This will be sure to delete any enemies, and maybe even fry your computer as well. I tried it against the Get Fixed Boy Nameless Deity, and who would have guessed Glocks are no match for a magical worm. Some other silly weapons you can find include the Bear Blade, the Vivid Climactic Exogale, and I'm not going to even try to pronounce this last one. So we know this mod has some absurdly fun, and maybe slightly unfair endgame weapons. So to pair with these, we're now going to check out some of the completely unbalanced super bosses. The first is what many of you are probably familiar with, the Lord. I won't cover it too much, but he basically summons a joke Yaram boss that rotates between every boss AI in the game. But the Ascended Chibi Devourer is something we've got to look at a little bit closer. He summons the Cosmic Plushie Pet along with the Yaram Worm Sepulcher. This deadly duo also cycles between different boss AIs, but it's just infinitely worse. When you drop her below 77 million health, she'll regain it all back and begin phase 2. This reveals her final form and spawning a ring of smaller chibis. It is an absolute cluster. I don't recommend it. And before we move on to the final 2 bosses, we gotta make ourselves the Araxia, combining the effects of the previous Apotheosis EX, Auric Charm, and Amenities. It's basically this mod's version of the Soul of Eternity, or the Verbolten 1 accessory, which combines mostly every accessory into one. As you can imagine, it is perfectly balanced. But will it be enough to challenge God? Yes, this is Calamity God, and I have to say, 10 out of 10 for the sprite work. This one summons a teleporting Yaren to fill your screen with random ass projectiles. You got Cursed Flames, Paladin Axes, Cultist Lightnings, just completely unplayable. And let's check out the Verbolten one. You may remember this name from my merging every accessory video, but now it is in boss form. Of course I had to try the Verbolten 1 accessory versus the true Verbolten 1 boss. And well, you can see the results for yourself. I had no idea how to kill this thing properly without using the Apocalypse, and I'm sure there's even more Easter eggs that I've missed. If you love Calamity add-ons, subscribe and goodbye.